sick to quarantine that person. And the best place to do that is a bathroom, because they're easy to sanitize, and they have access to toilet and shower. You'll want to purchase like one of those painter's plastics that can cover a doorway, and it has a zipper, and you can purchase those at Home Depot, and you want to cover the door. You're going to want to make it as comfortable as possible for them in there, with blankets and pillows that you don't mind burning. Okay, David's back. I will resume this, but you can read this post in Social Media News Network. Hi. You're back. Yay.
I'm sorry, what was the last thing you heard? What was the last thing you heard me say? I'm sorry.
I don't even remember now. Because I totally went off on the protocols. So let's talk about this. Okay, what happens if someone has a family member that is affected by the virus? Because you've been in China. You know people firsthand that have had to deal with this. Let's talk about that. Okay.
Well, I'm going to say this. If your family member has it, you have two choices. First, you have two choices. Either you're going to seal them off in a room, let them die in private, and you're going to seal them off in that room, like for real, like tape all the exits, like seriously, like I'm not joking. Or you're going to proceed to trying to get them better. And from what I can understand is that you have to harden, even if they're in a full-blown case of it, you have to harden their immune system on the fly. On the fly. I mean, on the fly. Like, that means vitamin C, D3, large doses. Nothing in terms of vitamin C doses over 2,000 milligrams at maybe 4 to 6 hour intervals, maybe even 8 hour intervals. And the reason why with maybe a liter of water at a time with different B complexes, because if you take too much vitamin C at one time, it will basically give you gastritis and try to burn a hole in your stomach, and it'll be hot enough for you to feel it. I'm sorry, can you just hold on for 1 second?
Yeah.
I'll be quick.
So you're going to want to get one of those things from Home Depot that I mentioned. You're going to want to make them comfortable with blankets and a pillow that you don't mind burning afterwards. You're going to want to have disinfectant wipes, Vicks Vapor Rub, chest rub, and Bengay to put on their throat. You're going to want to have bottles of water, distilled water, Gatorade, and they may not initially have a fever. It may just be like a dry cough. That doesn't mean anything. That just means the virus has dormant stages. So, like herpes, herpes comes and goes.
Which I'm sorry, I'm back. Which actually is, which interestingly enough is in it. See, here's what you have to understand. If you want to know what the virus is going to do, start Googling what types of STDs are in what particular country's population, and then start Googling what other types of peculiar afflictions. And remember, it's running around robbing other viruses of their immunities and other bacteria of their immunities, and it's adding them to itself. So it's not getting weaker, it's getting stronger, but it has like 3 different weaknesses that are just hardwired into it that it can't ever get rid of, because that's obviously partially how it stabilizes itself, and that's part of its function of how it hides. But I'm getting off subject. Please go ahead. I was downstairs in the bathroom.
Okay.
So I didn't get a chance to, yeah.
I'm hoping some of these recommendations are good. You can add, you can interject on me and add if you want, but you're going to get a dry cough and feel like a gagging sensation, and you're going to want to try and force yourself to throw up and cough up as much of it as possible, and break it up in your lungs and get it out of your system. Even try and make yourself throw up.
I want to be clear about using vomit and or Epicac or any sort of expectorant to get the fluids out of your system. Do not do that. Listen, I mean it. Like this is. If you do that, you will need a bucket or a pan or a very heavy-duty garbage bag to do it in, or even a large plastic trash can or a bucket. And the reason why I'm saying that is because you cannot let this stuff go into the water table through your fluids, because it's been discovered that it lives in feces. So there've been like people who are dying from it and who have died, and they did a stool sample, and it's totally fine living in your feces. But then there's also another article that I recently read where they were saying, "Oh, look, it's been found in certain water tables in regards to their water treatment plant," meaning that they found the stuff in some of the siftings. So where we're at right now is that I'm saying if you're gonna have, fluids, like basically if you're pissing in glass bottles, man. I'm sorry, you're pissing in plastic bottles, Gatorade. I don't care what you got to do, but do not pour this stuff down the drain, because it's just gonna keep. Like, it's one of those things where, and you're probably saying, well, what do? You put it in a container, you poop in a container, you urinate in a container, you definate it in some sort of containing method. And then when you're done, you're going to pour bleach or Lysol or something in that. Maybe you got to stir it up or shake it up. I don't care, but you cannot pour this stuff into the water table.
Burn it. I'm sorry.
No, that's what they do in the listen. That's what they do in the combat zone. They pour diesel fuel in tanks with feces, and they light the diesel fuel on fire, and once they're done lighting the diesel fuel on fire, they stir it. They let the flame die down, and they keep stirring it, and the job is to keep burning it with diesel fuel so it doesn't smell anymore. At least that's what they used to do whenever there's like a field expedient waste processing treatment, poop in barrels with diesel. That's it. That's what you do.
Yeah.
Pouring, Lysol and other chemicals to disinfect it, and you're going to let it for a while. You're going to move it. I mean, if you open the bag and all you can smell is bleach or green rubbing alcohol, preferably, or even in some cases iodine, better than nothing, man. And if that's all you smell, you don't smell whatever it is you spit out or any of that. Great. But because at that point you're still burying it in the dirt, but you just can't put it in the dirt. You got to treat it with a toxic chemical first. I would even suggest, if you really want to be careful, that when you dig the ditch, you're going to put the stuff in. You put lye in the ditch first.
Yeah,
something from what I'm just not a fan of is salt.
Buy a 5-gallon bucket from Home Depot for waste,
Yeah,
and put a little thing of toilet paper with it, and that's what you want to do, because you're going to be treating this like it's infectious diseases.
Here's the thing. It's way beyond an infectious disease, but yeah, you're for the most part, yeah, you're right. But
so we're going to talk about. I want to talk about the really tough subjects as well. I'm going to let you finish, but I just need to interject something. I just, I know this is really harsh, but I want to talk about what if we do have, people that lose family members in the home, and they're not able to dispose of the body right away or what have you, what kind of protocols? Because I know you've already been through this when you left China. So
they're going in the bathtub, and you are going to sprinkle lye and Drano on them. They're going in the bathroom, probably the bathtub. If you can, put them. I'll put it to you this way: you're going to probably have to duct tape a bag over them, but while you're duct taping that large trash bag over them, you're going to dump lye on their feet. You're going to dump it on their legs. You're going to kind of probably fill the bottom parts of the bag with it, and then you're going to, when you get to the other part of the bag, and keep that around them too. It's a slow process, but the point to doing that with the lye is that it prevents them from rotting, and decomposing and stinking up your house. And I don't know if anyone ever smelled a dead body, but I mean, it's the only thing that I can compare to this. You should just be rotting trash and a few other things, but durian, really ripe durian, smells exactly.
I mean, I know this is tough. This is tough, but I mean, I want to make sure that we
a little bit sure.
Okay, I'm losing you again. David, I'm losing you again. Okay, folks. So I'm going to talk a little bit and see if he's able to come back and join us. But I don't really think that we've seen anything yet. Are you there? Okay. No, I can't. You're in and out. It's a really bad connection. You might have to want to try to call me back. I just don't think that we've seen anything yet. It's too early to tell, and the virus does go dormant. So I just want to tell everybody, be prepared. You're probably going to want to have, like I said, you're going to want to be able to quarantine off a room. You're going to want to have one of those zipper tarps, and you're probably going to want to have an extra tarp in the event that you do have to, like David said, and that's the extreme circumstance. But, like I said, we want to, hope for the best, but be prepared for the worst. And, I think we're all going to be good. Stay prayed up. And, here's the thing. David mentioned this, and I know that a lot of these, people are socializing this virus, and there is an urge, from what I understand, in one of the phases to socialize the virus. People that are infected, they get an urge to socialize the virus. So keep that in mind. And stay at home, stay safe. And I've been cleaning my blinds, spraying the window seals in the doorway with Lysol, and I replaced the vents in the home. So, and thanks so much for joining my Patreon. I don't get much support for the show, and whenever I do, it's such a wonderful thing. And thank you so much, Brenda. I want to come on and do more shows. I just haven't been able to lately because my equipment is kind of it's just getting old. It needs to be replaced. And so your support is greatly appreciated. Thank you so much. Anyways, guys, I will have David back on the show, and we will get into these topics as it progresses, because he's still out there in Vietnam, and obviously they're dealing with it, the quarantine and so forth. They've been dealing with it for quite some time. So, and he has firsthand experience, with him being in China prior prior to being in Vietnam. So I will be having him on the show again, and I hope you guys tune in and join me again live in the live chat room. And you can subscribe to my show for free on Spreaker.com if you want to join the live chat. Please subscribe to my Patreon, I'm on Patreon now. And Instagram and Facebook. I'm more interactive on Facebook because it's just